What's up guys, it's Chachi Power here to do a review for CollectionDX, and I'm more than happy to be able to bring this to you guys. This is the Dynamite Action, the Steel Jeeg old model. In other words, Kotetsu Jeeg. Not the newer one like the Solar Chogokin. This is the previous one. This is from Evolution Toy. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it, starting off with the box, obviously, which is right here. Take a look at the side panels here. Nothing very exciting. There you go. And take a look at the back. Got some nice photography here. Some studio shots. You get the figure right here in the middle. And all the accessories and all the different variants of Jeeg down here. So why don't we just get inside this box and see what's going on. The first tray here, the top one, has the Jeeg, his alternate head and some parts there, and the stand, which we'll get into in just a second. And the lower level tray has the ground, sky, and marine parts. Alright guys, here he is on the spinning display, so you can take a look at him all around. The obvious thing most people are going to do is want to compare this to the Solar Chogokin. And I have to say, we need to get something aside in case you guys don't already know. This guy does not have any die cast aside from the magnetic joints. So if you're looking for some new kind of Gokin here, might have to look elsewhere. But that being said, it's still a nice figure. You'll see it actually stands up. That may be due to stronger magnets, or just due to the fact that it's plastic and weighs less. Now, aside from the CM's Corp Gakin, this is really my only other magnetic toy, aside from the ones I had as a kid that were based off the old Jeeg stuff. It's a little weird if you're not used to magnetic toys, but it's actually not too bad. The fact that there is no metal might help this toy a lot, due to the fact that it actually stays where you pose it. That's normal, guys. That's part of the whole magnetic feature. And it actually stands quite nice. You can just really just drop it anywhere you want, and it's going to stay up. It's got the... We'll get into articulation in a second, but just so you get a feel of how this toy is, it's not overly flimsy. You'll see it's not flopping around all over the place. So that being said, we're going to take a look at articulation and see what's going on. So we'll start off the head. You'll see it does have nice range of movement because it is on the round joint here, and that's one of the benefits of having a round magnet here. Gives you all the movements of a ball joint and more. He does have ratchets here in the neck when his head moves up here. Now his shoulders do move out, and they're on a slight ratchet here, which is on the inside there. Very soft ratchets. And the ball joint here pulls out, and it's actually a magnet there too. And you'll see it's got teeth. The teeth are really just to cause a ratcheting action. So it works two ways, the magnet. Obviously to hold the joint there, and second, since a magnet can be pulled away slightly and still create that magnetic force, it actually acts like a spring-loaded ratchet, which I thought was really cool. And then he's got the movement in the upper chest here. He does have slight movement at the bottom here. It's very slight. Then he's got the elbows here on the magnet ball, and another thing is the elbow here actually snaps out like that, just giving it that much more range of movement. The wrist is on a little ball joint here. No magnets on the wrist there. The hips here, again, ball magnets. Knees, which I was showing you a little before. Ankles, and then you have the toes that move. And the knees, just like the elbows, have a secondary movement there, which is on a nice little ratchet. It sounds really nice, feels nice, doesn't feel brittle. And I want to touch on the actual construction quality, slash materials used. The plastic does not seem cheap at all. I'm sure it's hollow, but it doesn't give the effect of being brittle, which is nice. The paint apps are well done. Nothing great, but nothing sloppy or anything like that. The Obviously the insides of the ball joints here are going to be metal, and the screw holes you'll notice here are covered. And some people are confused over the fact that there's a diagonal line here, which kind of just looks like someone just slashed it, and that's pretty much because he does have a gash back there in the anime. I don't know of any PVC pieces on the actual figure. The head does have hard plastic here on these spikes. I don't feel any PVC anywhere. However, an interesting touch on this figure is the bottom of the feet here. You see these two little rectangles are actually rubber, which should help him, withstanding that much more. And like you saw before, these shoulders do come out. I mean, this guy is just loaded with articulation. And speaking of which, the legs also pull out down here. And I found that out by mistake because I was trying to stand them. It was diagonal. I said, oh wow, this actually pulls out. So there you go. Further articulation. Now let's touch on some alternate pieces here. He does have an alternate head. And I didn't quite show you guys, maybe you noticed, but you'll see here this head, the one that it comes with standard, does have pupils. And I'm not a big fan of robots with pupils, but I guess it's a thing with Jeeg. And he does have another head without the pupils here. And you'll notice this head looks a little different, and I'll explain why. Because this is a head that is actually Hiroshi Shiba, the pilot, which turns into his head. So you can actually use his head if you want to keep it, minimal part swapping. And it's rather simple. You just unfold this here, and that's it. There you go. There's a little pilot figure. And then really just to make the head again, just fold them up again, and there you have it. So aside from the two fists he has there, he also comes with these two alternate open hands. Okay, and then he's also got this clenched two hands together thing, which is the Knuckle Bomber, which is part of one of the effects it comes with. Now to use the Knuckle Bomber effect, you obviously need this hand here and this PVC piece here. And to use this, you're going to want this piece here to have the fist, so you just pop them on the ball joint here. Alright, that was a little tough to get on, but you don't want to try and push both ball joints at the same time. You're going to want to spin the hand off to one side, pop one in, spin it back in, and pop the other. And then simply put these two other ball joints into his forearms. So you go ahead and remove the fists and make sure this is facing the right way up, with the thumbs up, and just pop that into his forearms. And you're going to want to make sure you can pull these shoulder pieces out so that he can hold this properly. You kind of can do it like this, like so, but it kind of just throws the angles off a bit. I may just be doing it wrong, but after you've done that, this is where the trouble starts coming in, and where the negatives of having magnet joints is apparent. He does not want to really stand, although as a testament to the strength of his magnets, he does hold this up pretty well. And this is not light. I mean, this is a heavy PVC piece, and he's holding it up pretty well up there, but his legs not so much. But you kind of can get it if you really try. So that's not too bad. This is a really heavy PVC piece, so that says a lot for the magnets, even though the figure is not die cast. Now the last bit of accessory that's included in the upper tray here is this spin storm piece, which to me seems like an afterthought, because there's really no, unless I'm doing something wrong, but it's pretty obvious what I need to do, and that is plug it right into his stomach. Now what you want to do is look at the molding here and just match it up to the stomach, and by doing so it sort of stays on, not really. See what I mean? So I don't know if that was like an afterthought, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm not great at Japanese, but I think this is included in the first run, so I think any later releases may not have this. If anybody can understand what it says on their site, please let me know, but I believe this is just for the first run. Now we all know the role that stands play, and this stand here is clear. It's got these little joint pieces here, it's got the main stand, and then it's got the the 3 tubes up here and other little bits to help you create the stand. So if you're having difficulty, you know, keeping them standing up and whatnot with the accessories, that'll always help you out. Now at the beginning of the video I did mention he has land, air, and marine modes. So these are the pieces that you're going to want to use to create that. This whole set right here, it almost feels like it's made out of die cast because the weight of these balls here really gives it some heft. So we're going to go ahead and start from left to right. We're going to start with the air mode. Now for air mode we grab these wings here, which have the ball joints there, and also these blue legs. So very simply, remove the regular arms here, remove the legs, and you're left with this little piece here. So this is all you need to create the air mode. And to do that, you just attach this here, and you'll see the piece has ratchets there. Although not really ratcheting, you know, it just really depends where you're holding it, but you know, at least the idea was there to have a ratchet, but it's really not doing anything. Go ahead and attach the other side, and then put the legs on, and then pop off the feet. Forgot to do that. And just transfer the feet over. And there you have air mode. And it would actually be something like this. Now, an interesting thing about these wings here is that the front do go in and out on both sides. Now to do a marine mode, you want to basically take everything apart just like before. Just have this basic piece here, and then attach the arms. Take the forearms off, attach it like so, then attach these missile looking pieces here, and then attach the legs. Alright, and this is marine mode. And simply just bring this forward this way to get the correct effect here. You know, and if you're thinking this looks like crap, if you watch the show, they do have a more, or actually completely animated correct version coming out, which is, I believe, a web shop exclusive. So if this does not float your boat, you do have the option of buying the other piece, which will look more like what you see on screen. Now to do the land or earth mode, you're going to want to remove the arms completely here. You're going to start off with a completely base figure here. Next, you're going to want to grab the drill arms, which you know, drill arms are always cool. Nothing wrong with drill arms. Robots I like that have drill arms. And then attach the legs. This leg on, and this leg on. Now, all 3 versions have their own legs, which is really cool. Some you have to, actually one of them, which is this one, you do have to share the upper arm, but everything else just has its own pieces. So this one is actually my favorite, I think. I love drill arms, like I said. The feet are different, you'll see there. And to complete the earth mode look, same thing as the others, bring this up, bring the feet together, and there you go. Kind of weird, but sure you Jeeg fans dig it. Now something I failed to mention when showing you the modes was the fact that the legs are full-blown legs. They're not just like meant to look like, you know, cheap pieces of plastic just to create the effect. No, these are full-blown legs with all the magnetic features of the regular legs. Same thing goes for the arms. So, final thoughts. You know, after messing with this guy for a little bit, I couldn't help but be reminded a lot of the Mechanda Robo by CM's, which is that horrible, looks cool, but completely horrible piece of plastic toy that they have. Although, it reminds me of it only because of all the parts it has that you can change up and everything. That's as far as the comparisons go. You know, having these huge extra pieces, but this is definitely, for being plastic, so much better than the Mechanda Robo. Now, again, you die-cast fans will probably be disappointed. I myself am a die-cast fan. you may be disappointed just seeing it. Maybe the review doesn't really quite capture, you know, how cool the figure truly is. But I must say I am rather impressed for it being a plastic toy, how cool it is, because it still has the weight. Even though it doesn't have the feel of the die-cast, it's still rather nice. It's my first and only Jeeg figure in my collection, and I'm pretty happy with it, even though I'm not a fan of the design. But it does look really cool now that I have it. So it's a little on the pricey side, but if you're a big Jeeg fan and you want one that stays up and doesn't flop over, and obviously the original style, then this is probably a no-brainer. But for the other guys, you know, you might want to look elsewhere for other stuff if you dig die-cast more than plastic. And that's pretty much going to be it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And until next time, guys, make sure you head over to CollectionDX and check out the written review. Bye-bye.